Florida. History, geography, people, facts, economy. Today we shall be turning our attention to states in America. If this is your first time on this channel, let us tell you that this is not the first time we are doing this. But our focus in this video is on Florida. We have videos about other states in the US. All you need to do is to search the channel for them. It is our goal to touch on every state in the Union for your information and education. In this video, you will see how rich Florida's history is. Its vast geography also will be of interest to you. We will also touch on its lovely people and flourishing economy. Please relax and enjoy this video. About Florida. Florida is a state in the southeastern United States. On its western border is the Gulf of Mexico. It shares its northwestern border with Alabama. This state of Georgia is to the north. The Bahamas and Atlantic Ocean are to its east, while the Straits of Florida and Cuba are to its south. Have you seen a state that shares borders with both the Gulf of Mexico and the Atlantic Ocean? This is one of the uniqueness of Florida. It's the only state with that feature. Florida has a current population of 22,244,823, making it the third most populous state in the nation. It covers an area of 65,758 square miles, ranking 22nd largest state by area. It has to be densely populated. Yes, with a population density of 414.8 per square mile, it's expectedly the 8th most densely populated state. Jacksonville, though not the capital, is the state's most populous city with a population of 949,611. Its capital city is Tallahassee, with a population of 196,169. It's by no means the largest, but the 8th largest city in the state and 127th in the country. The Miami metropolitan area is the state's largest in Florida. Anchored by the cities of Miami, West Palm Beach, and Fort Lauderdale as the state's largest metropolitan area, it has a population of 6.138 million. Other huge population centers in the state include Cape Coral, Tampa Bay, and Orlando. The history of Florida. The location known today as Florida had been inhabited by various Native American groups for at least 14,000 years. Among them were the people known as Paleo-Indians, who reportedly entered Florida at least 14,000 years ago. But we couldn't lay hands on any historical records of that. The earliest historical record about this place dates back to the 16th century when the first major groups of modern settlers arrived. On April 2, 1513, earlier in the century, explorer Juan Ponce de Leon from Spain became the first European in recorded history to make landfall in the region, admiring its lush greenery and the Easter season. In May 1539, conquistador Hernando de Soto too skirted the coast of Florida in search of a deep harbor to land. Finding one, he described what he found as a thick wall of red mangroves that were spread mile after mile. Some of them reached as high as 70 feet and were with intertwined and elevated roots. Thus, a landing wasn't easy. A French attempt to settle there failed, as the settlement was destroyed by the Spanish in 1565. This made Florida to be the first area in the continental U.S. to be visited and permanently settled by Europeans. In 1565, the Spanish colony of St. Augustine was founded, and it remains the oldest continuously inhabited city. Great Britain contested this region with Spain several times before it was eventually ceded to the U.S. in 1819. Florida was admitted on March 3, 1845, to the Union as the 27th state. Florida had been a theater of several wars. It was the principal battleground, for example, of the Seminole Wars of 1816 to 1858. In U.S. history, that was the longest and most destructive and most extensive of the Indian Wars. It was involved in other attacks, establishments, and struggles by different forces through the 16th to 18th centuries. Florida joined the secessionists on January 10, 1861, as one of the 7 original Confederate states. After the Civil War, it was readmitted to the Union on June 25, 1868. Florida geography. As already noted, much of the state is on a peninsula between the Gulf of Mexico, the Atlantic Ocean, and the Straits of Florida. It spans 2 time zones, namely the Peninsula and Big Bend region given as UTC 5 o'clock Eastern, and the Panhandle west of the Apalachicola River given as UTC 6 o'clock Central. The only state bordering both the Atlantic Ocean and the Gulf of Mexico, it's also the southernmost of all the 48 contiguous states. It is also 90 miles north of Cuba and one of the largest states east of the Mississippi River. Only 53,625 square miles of its total area is land. The remaining 12,133 square miles, representing 18.5%, is occupied by water. The average elevation of the state is 100 feet above mean sea level. Its highest elevation is 345 feet, which is Britton Hill in northern Walton County. It's the lowest of the U.S. state's highest points. Since no part of the state is quite distant from the ocean, its climate is tempered. The prevalent climate north of Lake Okeechobee is humid subtropical, but coastal areas south of the lake, including areas known as the Florida Keys, have a true tropical climate. Though nicknamed the Sunshine State, severe weather is a common feature of the state. Central Florida is regarded as the lightning capital of the U.S. due to the fact that it experiences more lightning strikes than anywhere else. Partly due to the afternoon thunderstorms which are common in most parts of the state from around late spring until around early autumn, the state has the highest average precipitation in the country. The people of Florida. The people born and living in Florida are known as Floridians or Floridans. The majority, precisely 67.3% of Floridians, speak English only. About 21.2% of them speak Spanish, while some 11.5% speak other languages. Hispanic or Latino constitute 26.5% of the state, while white Floridians are 57.7%. Also, about 15.1% of the state is Black or African American, 3% is Asian, and 0.4% is Native American. Among the notable Floridians is Donald Trump, the former president from 2017 to 2021. He lives in Palm Beach. The former governor of Florida between 1999 and 2007, Jeb Bush, the brother of former President George W. Bush, lives in Miami. The award-winning actress and singer Jennifer Lopez lives in Miami. John Gorey, 1803 to 1855, who invented mechanical cooling, lived and worked in Apalachicola, in Franklin County in Florida from 1833 onward. Abraham Lincoln Lewis, 1865 to 1947, the first African-American millionaire, was born in Madison. Economy of Florida. Florida is the 4th largest in the U.S., with $1.2 trillion in gross state product (GSP) as of 2021. Thus, if Florida were a sovereign nation as of 2021, the IMF would rank it as the world's 16th largest economy, ahead of Indonesia and behind Mexico. The state is the country's largest producer of citrus fruits. The majority of its citrus fruits harvests go into juice making. Florida is the 2nd largest producer of tomatoes in the country. Competing with California, Florida produces some 30,000 to 40,000 acres of fresh market tomatoes each year, which is about 2/3 of the U.S. tomato acreage. Also, it is among the world's leading producers of grapefruit, probably the leader. After Brazil, it is the leader in global juice production. In the 20th century, the state economy was spurred on by biomedical and life sciences, construction, industry, international banking, healthcare research, simulation training, tourism, aerospace and defense, and commercial space travel. Interesting facts. 1. The Florida Keys, a group of 1,700 tiny islands, is one of the tourist attractions in the state. 2. The Florida Reef, the only surviving living coral barrier reef in America, is the world's third-largest coral barrier reef system. 3. Florida enjoys 2 time zones. Gulf County in the state is the only county in the country that utilizes both the Eastern and Central time zones. While 9 counties are completely in the Central time zone, the rest are in the Eastern time zone. 4. It has the second longest coastline after Alaska. 5. Cuba is only 100 miles away from the southernmost tip of the peninsula. 6. The state motto is "In God We Trust." The state anthem is "Florida," and the state song is "Old Folks at Home." 7. It has one of the fastest-growing immigrant populations, thanks to the rapid growth in the tourism sector. 8. Florida is the flattest state in the country, flatter than Illinois, North Dakota, Louisiana, Minnesota, Delaware, and Kansas, respectively. We'd love this discussion to continue. You can pick on anything in this video and tell us what you appreciate or aspects that could be better in the comment section. Thank you for watching this video. Please don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell.